Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So welcome to yet another online tutorial on principles of communication system. So today, officially, we'll start with module 2, that is angle modulation. So in this session, we'll discuss in general about angle modulation, which includes phase modulation and frequency modulation, right? And some of the basics and properties. And we'll try and solve one problem, which is related to a property which is called zero crossing, right? So those who think you missed some of the sessions of amplitude modulation or module 1, right, because of some reasons you were not able to catch up, right, and because of that you were not getting the continuity, right. This is a golden opportunity for those people, right. So this is an entirely fresh module, right. It deals with frequency modulation, so you can start from the beginning, right. So even if you have some lack of clarity in first module, it won't affect, right. So please do concentrate, right, and try to learn something in the sessions itself, right. Please don't keep it for later. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask, right. So I may explain a thing in a particular way. If you are not able to appreciate that, you can stop me and ask, right. I'll be able to explain it in a different way, right. So that is one thing. And one more thing is, from this live session for this module 2, after every session I will include a small quiz, a quiz of 5 questions, just to assess whether you were attentive. I won't include very difficult questions and all, very basic things which I have discussed in this particular class. I'll include it in that quiz, so that will be kept at the end of the session, right. And that is just to make sure whether all are paying attention, right. If people are not asking doubt, then I should assume they should be clear with the concepts. If but the quiz response can tell me whether right people are paying attention. Yeah, yes, Shreyas was asking. Yeah, I'll be conducting it in quizzes. I'll be conducting it in quizzes, right. So from today's session, I'll include it. It will be very basic, right. So based on whatever is being discussed in that day's class, I'll include a quiz, right. Just for a feedback, for me to get a feedback whether what I'm doing you people are able to appreciate, for that only, right. So okay, now with that note, we'll start with our right angle modulation, right. So angle modulation, as you know, in angle modulation, angle of the carrier wave was varied according to the baseband signal, whereas in amplitude modulation, amplitude was varying, right. So in angle modulation, angle of the carrier wave. So angle in the sense, if you have a say, right, if you have a carrier wave AC cos 2 pi FCT plus phi, right. So whatever is there within this bracket, right, this argument of this cosine, right, that will be changing according to sorry the message signal, whereas in amplitude modulation, the amplitude of the carrier was varied according to the message signal. So we're in angle modulation, whatever is there within this bracket, that is the argument or angle, right, will be varying in accordance with the message signal, right. So then and one more very important thing is amplitude of the carrier wave. You can see everything, right. So the influence of M of t is happening within this, right. So amplitude or envelope of the carrier wave will remain the same, right. Whereas in amplitude modulation, we could see the amplitude was varying, right. The envelope of the amplitude carrier wave was varying according to the message signal, but here amplitude will remain constant, right. Then two common forms are phase modulation and frequency modulation. So one is phase modulation, other one is frequency modulation. So if it is frequency modulation, right, so this FC term, right, frequency term as such, right, will be a function of frequency. Will be a function of actually what frequency will vary in accordance with the message signal. And if it is phase modulation, right, this phase offset or phase, right, as such will be a function of message signal, or it will vary accordance with the message signal. So in today's session, we'll see how to mathematically represent the PM wave and the frequency modulation wave, right. So, and compared to angle modulation, we have already discussed it once, but again, once I'm just giving a quick recap, right? So it can provide better discrimination against noise. So that is one of the advantages compared to amplitude modulation, right? Amplitude modulation and phase modulation. So angle modulation in general can provide better discrimination against noise and interference, right? So that is one advantage, but of course we do have actually what increased complexity, right? And the bandwidth requirement also will be more. So that is, those are disadvantages. So the one of the disadvantage, or can't tell disadvantage, right? So it requires higher transmission bandwidth compared to AM, right? And um, one more very key advantage feature is, right, if you are ready to spend more bandwidth, you can have better noise performance, right? That is true only for angle modulation. For amplitude modulation, the bandwidth what was required, even if it was for standard AM, the bandwidth required was twice the maximum frequency content of message 2W, right? But even if you simply keep on adding the bandwidth, it won't give you any added advantage. But in frequency modulation, right, if you are ready to spend more bandwidth, if you are ready to sacrifice the bandwidth efficiency, you can have improved noise performance. But AM cannot do this. So these are some of the key aspects, right, of angle modulation. But because of this, right, so it's angle modulation itself was non-linear, right? So because of that, system complexity is more compared to AM. So this is a basic comparison, very basic level comparison, right? So please make a note of all these things. I told I'll keep a quiz at the end. You may expect questions from these things, right? So if anyone is having any doubt, right, you can chip in and ask. Otherwise, right, I'll assume no doubt is there. I'll continue. Okay? Any doubt is there, you can stop me. Not a problem, right? So, and maybe we have to see some of the basic definitions of angle modulation, right? So angle modulation, angle modulated signal, right, it can be written as S of t is equal to AC cos theta I of t, right? So this AC, as you know, it is actually what? Carrier amplitude. So whichever be the carrier we are using, amplitude of that carrier is AC, and theta I of t is the angle, right? Theta I of t is the angle, right? It will be a function of it message, right? It will be a function of message signal, right? Theta I of t, right? The angle as such we are representing as theta I of t, or else better I can call it actually what? Instantaneous angle, right? Instantaneous angle is theta I of t. It will be a function of message signal. So then we can define, right, say two types of frequencies. One is actually the average frequency, right, over an interval from t to t plus delta t, right? So if theta I, right, so what does that mean is, if theta I of t is a angle at time t, and so this is angle, instantaneous angle at time t, right? And if this is instantaneous angle at a time instance delta t after t, so it is theta I of t plus delta t. So angle is continuously changing with respect to time, right? Angle is a function of time. Angle is changing with respect to time. So this theta I of t plus delta t minus theta I of t, it gives the amount of change in angle, right? The amount by which the angle has changed, right? So if we divide it with 2 pi times delta t, you will get the average frequency. This f delta t of t, it says, it means it is the average of the frequency over a duration delta t seconds, right? So why this 2 pi, right? Maybe if you consider this, right? So normally a sinusoid, right, cos 2 pi fct, right, or cos 2 pi fct plus say phi, a constant, right? If this is a sinusoid, what actually is the frequency? Frequency is fc. That fc is nothing but what? If you consider this entire thing within the bracket as theta, right, that fc is nothing but, you can see it will be 1 by 2 pi d theta by dt, right? So this is actually what? Cos omega t, right? Cos omega t, right? Omega is the angular velocity, or right, omega is the angular velocity, right, and omega, its unit is radians per second, right. So we are interested in frequency. So frequency is nothing but what, omega by 2 pi. So that is what is this 2 pi we have here, right. So that is the average frequency. This is how we can define average frequency. For instance, for example, right, for example, if I'm telling, right, theta I of t, maybe I'll take a simple example. I'm telling theta I of t, it is equal to pi t square, right. Theta I of t is a function of time, right. If I define it as pi t square, I'm just taking a random example, right. This is theta I of t. Now if I ask you what is the average frequency over an interval from t equal to 0 to, or t equal to 1 to t equal to 2, right. So now if I ask what is the average frequency from over an interval from t equal to 1 to t equal to 2, how you will find out? From this basic definition only you can find out, right. So now what is delta t? T from 1 to 2, t is changing from 1 to 2, so delta t, it is equal to 1 second, 2 minus 1, delta t change in time is equal to 1 second, right. So then what will be f delta t of t? What will be that? So first it is theta I of t plus delta t. So that is actually what, so say this is t and this is t plus delta t, right. Say this is t equal to 1 and t plus delta t is equal to 2, right. So then by this definition, right, theta I of t plus delta t, so theta I of 2, I'll write here theta I of 2 minus theta I of 1 divided by 2 pi into delta t is nothing but what, 1. So what is theta I of 2 here? So in this, instead of t you substitute 2, right. Theta I of 2 is nothing but what, in theta I of t, instead of t you substitute equal to 2. So what is theta I of t? It will be pi times 2 square, right. So it will be pi times 4, right. Then minus what will be theta I of 1? Pi times 1 square, right. So it will be pi divided by, it is 2 pi. So it will be 3 pi by 2 pi. So it will be equal to what? 1.5 hertz. This 1.5 hertz will be the average frequency over a period from t from 1 second to 2 seconds. But we are not interested in this average frequency, right. So we need instantaneous frequency. So like how we define this derivative, right, like just like how we define the derivative, right. So what we can do is, if this delta t is tending to 0, right, then limit of this average frequency when this delta t tends to 0 will give me actually instantaneous frequency, right. So that is nothing but what, 1 by 2 pi d by dt of, right, theta I of t. So this is the instantaneous frequency. Instantaneous frequency will represent as fi of t, right. 1 by 2 pi d by dt of theta I of t. So in this case, what will be the instantaneous frequency? Instantaneous frequency I can write here fi of t. Can anyone tell me? You can just try out. Maybe I'll write the expression, right. It is 1 by 2 pi times d by dt of pi t square. This will be instantaneous frequency. Instantaneous frequency will be a function of time in this case, right. So what will be that? What will be instantaneous frequency? Can anyone tell me? 1 by 2 pi is there, right. It is 1 by 2 pi. What is derivative of pi t square? It is nothing but what? 2 pi t. So this 2 pi and 2 pi will get cancelled, right. So it will be equal to t, right. So it will be equal to t. So this will be instantaneous frequency. If I am asking you what is the instantaneous frequency at time t equal to 2 seconds, right, I need to know what is the frequency of this particular of the particular wave with phase equal to pi t square, right. What is the instantaneous frequency at time t equal to 2? So what you have to do, you have to substitute t equal to 2. If you substitute t equal to 2, that will be equal to 2 hertz, right. So that will be instantaneous frequency. That is how we can calculate instantaneous frequency and average frequency. So mostly we are interested in this instantaneous frequency, right. So if you have any doubt, you can just ask now. Any doubt in this Average frequency and instantaneous frequency. Average frequency over an interval, it's actually what? The final value of theta minus initial value divided by 2 pi times time interval, right? That is average, right? Whereas instantaneous is actually what? 1 by 2 pi. D theta by dt is nothing but what? Omega, right? This is angle. Rate of change of angle is actually what? Angular velocity, right? That is 2 pi f. So 1 by 2 pi times omega will give you the instantaneous frequency, right? So any problem with this? Can I go ahead? Yeah, okay, fine. So if anything is there, you can interrupt me in between, right? So what I've done is, so maybe what we can do is this: we may interpret the angle modulated signal S of t as actually what? A rotating phasor of length AC and phase theta I of t. So maybe about this, when we discuss about narrowband FM, right? How can we represent it as a phasor? I'll discuss in detail, right? Right. So maybe, for instance, right, that is it. And phase modulated signal, I told a phase modulated signal can be, right, in this theta I, right, theta I will be a function of time. So in that frequency, right, 2 pi fc, that is not altered, but you can see the phase offset, right? So that is a function of the message signal, right? So the instantaneous, say, phase, right, of the carrier will be 2 pi fct plus kp times m of t, right? If your carrier is in both the cases, we'll be assuming carrier is AC cos 2 pi fct, and for ease of analysis, we are assuming the initial phase of the carrier to be equal to 0, right? In that case, if phase modulation, right, what will happen is the phase of the carrier will be equal to kp times m of t. In fact, I should call it phase offset, or right, something, right? So it will be instantaneous, varying. It will be a function of time. So S of t can be represented as AC cos 2 pi fct plus kp into m of t. So this entire thing is theta I of t, right? This entire thing is theta I of t. So in phase modulation, right, phase is instantaneously varying according to the message signal, right? So phase modulation is that form of angle modulation in which instantaneous angle theta I of t is varied linearly with message signal as shown here, right? So here, one thing which you have to keep in mind is the phase is varied linearly, right? So phase is varied linearly with respect to message. It's not with respect to what square of message signal. It's not with respect to what derivative of message signal. It's not with respect to integral of the message signal. It's with respect to the message signal. So phase is varied linearly, but phase modulation, right, we don't have to study in detail. We'll be studying frequency modulation in detail. So this is what is the time, this is how we can represent the time domain expression of phase modulated signal. So when we studied amplitude modulation, we had studied Ka, amplitude sensitivity, right? 1 plus Ka into m of t, right? So where it was amplitude sensitivity, now here there is a constant Kp, right? A Kp which is getting multiplied with m of t, right? So that is called actually what? Phase sensitivity, right? Here we'll call it actually what? Phase sensitivity, right? So we're and similarly in FM, we'll call it actually what? Frequency sensitivity. So I hope phase modulation is fine. So now we do have this frequency modulation, right? So frequency modulation, what happens is instantaneous frequency, right? So just remember, in phase modulation, instantaneous angle theta I of t as such was varying linearly with respect to message signal, right? Theta was varying linearly with respect to message signal, whereas in frequency modulation, right, it is that form of angle modulation in which instantaneous frequency Fi of t is varied linearly with the message signal m of t. So you can see Fi of t is equal to Fc plus Kf into m of t, right? Fi of t is equal to Fc plus Kf into m of t. So maybe what we'll do is, right, So before I'll just maybe we'll just derive. So theta I of t will be equal to 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf m of tau d tau. So can anyone tell me how we got this? Maybe I would not waste time asking, right? So this is how instantaneous frequency will change linearly according to message signal. So now we'll just, right? So fi of t is equal to fc plus kf into m of t. So this is how instantaneous frequency will change. What will be this kf? Kf will be frequency sensitivity, right? Kf will be frequency sensitivity, right? Now, what will be theta I of t? What will be theta I of t? So we know fi of t is 1 by 2 pi times d by dt of theta I of t. This we know. We have already seen this, right? So what will be theta I of t in terms of fi of t, right? So we can write 2 pi times fi of t will be equal to d by dt of theta I of t, right? So now if I have to get theta I of t, I should integrate on both sides with respect to t, right? So I can write here theta I of t is equal to, right, integral, right, 0 to t, as I need this theta I of t to be a function of t, right? As I need theta I of t to be a function of t, right? So I'm just integrating it from 0 to t, right? And it is 2 pi times fi of t dt, or 2 pi times integral 0 to t, sorry, fi of tau d2 I should write, right? So fi of tau d2, right? Fi of tau d2. Why? Because the final result what I'm getting should be a function of time, right? So that is why. So you have done this. You have done this in so many places. So I don't, right? So 2 pi integral 0 to t fi of tau d2. What is the difference between fi of t and fi of tau? Nothing is there, right? Instead of t, if you use a variable named tau, fi of t will become fi of tau, right? So just to get the final expression in terms of t, I'm doing this. That's it, right? No complication in it, right? So what we need to do is 2 pi times integral fi of tau d2. So fi of tau is nothing but what? So I'll write here 2 pi times integral 0 to t, right? fc plus kf into m of t should be replaced with tau, right? So t should be replaced with tau. So I should write m of tau, right? fc plus kf into m of tau d tau, right? So it will be, I can split this integral into two. So first one will be 2 pi times integral fc d tau. So fc d tau will be, maybe I'll write 2 pi times fc times d tau will be actually what? Integral d tau will be tau, limit from 0 to t, plus 2 pi times kf is a constant, I can take it out. So integral 0 to t m of tau d tau, right? So it will be 2 pi fct plus 2 pi times kf times integral 0 to t m of tau d tau. So this is theta I of t, right? So this is theta I of t. Let us see whether this is the same thing we have written there. Is it clear? Anyone has any doubt in this? Why? Because you have to be pretty much clear about this. We will be actually what, using this expression throughout, right? Using this expression throughout. So earlier when I mentioned phase modulation, I stressed phase is varying linearly in accordance with m of t, right? But here you see phases, it's not varying linearly, right? Phase is varying in accordance with what? Integral of m of t, right? Phase is varying in accordance with integral of m of t. That's why I stressed varying in accordance, linearly in accordance with m of t, that is in phase modulation. Whereas in frequency modulation, frequency is varying linearly, but phase is varying according to integral of m of t, right? Is it clear? Any doubt? Anyone has any doubt? Please feel free to ask. Right. So I hope it is a no. Yeah, fine. So theta I of t, it is equal to our 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf integral 0 to t m of tau d tau. So again, don't think from where this tau came, right? This tau m of tau means actually what? Instead of m of t, right? The independent variable or variable name I am changing to be equal to tau, and the uh, variable of integration I am changing it to be equal to tau, so that if I apply the limit 0 to t, the final result which I am getting, it will be in terms of t. That's it, right? So this is theta I of t. So now if the theta I of t, right, I give as argument of actually what, or my carrier cosinusoid. So AC cos, right, the theta I of t of cosinusoid will be 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf integral 0 to t m of tau d tau, right? So this is frequency modulated signal. So phase modulated signal, once again I'll show, it is AC cos 2 pi fct plus kp into m of t, and frequency modulated signal is AC cos 2 pi fct 2 pi kf into integral 0 to t m of tau d tau, right? So till here, is it clear? Maybe I should ask, right? How did we get fi of t is equal to fc plus? So Sherwin, you asked a doubt. Now are you clear with that? Right. So sorry if you type something in chat window. At times I may not be able to see that. Why? Because I'll be in presentation. Right. So yeah. Okay. You got it. So yeah, fi of t is fc plus kf into m of t. Right. Kf is frequency deviation. M of t is a message signal. That is how frequency modulation is defined. So anyone has any doubt so far? So now if you say yes or no, right, I'm going to check that. Right. I'll conduct a quiz. Straight away I'll be conducting a quiz. Right. And I will check. So if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. Right. If people are telling no doubt and if you are making mistake, right, I'm going to take it seriously. If any doubt, right, you may not get doubt if you really understood everything, right? And you won't have any doubt if you didn't understand anything, right? So it is either of these two cases, right? So maybe we have discussed, right, the some of the basics, right, of angle modulation, right? So next I'll continue. I'll continue with the angle modulation basics. So now we will discuss some of the very basic properties of angle modulation modulated waves, which makes it different from amplitude modulation. So in continuous wave modulation or analog modulation, right? In analog continuous wave modulation, we have mainly amplitude modulation and angle modulation, right? So amplitude modulation we have already studied, right? So but angle modulation we are yet to study, right? But before we study that, we will see some of the unique properties of angle modulation. So you can see here, right? So here, this is a carrier signal and this is a message. I have assumed the message to be a low frequency sinusoid, right? So this is an AM signal. You can see amplitude, right? So the envelope of the carrier is varying accordance with the message signal, and this D, it is a phase modulated signal, and E is a frequency modulated signal, right? So are you able to make out anything? Are you able to get any information from this? Right, you can see the envelope, it is constant, right? So envelope is constant, it is at AC only, right? Envelope is not changing here, right? Envelope is constant, but what is changing, right? The frequency of the carrier is changing, or the phase of the carrier is changing. So in phase modulation, we have seen phases changing linearly in accordance with the message signal, right? Whereas in frequency modulation, we have seen phase is changing in accordance with actually what? Integral of the message signal. So, but if you see it, right, if someone is able to intercept AM, right, he'll be able to extract the information very easily, right? Why? Because the envelope itself tells us the whole story, whatever be the frequency of carrier, right? So if someone is able to, right, get the envelope of the message signal, so it's an open book, right? Everyone can get to know everything. But whereas if you see this phase modulated or frequency modulated signal, right, envelope as such cannot give you any information. But if you have to, sorry, if you have to decode it, if you have to find out what was the message signal, then you should have some additional information. That what is this, say, frequency sensitivity, or what is the modulation index which is used, right? What is the, right, frequency deviation, right? What is the carrier frequency? Those things are must, right? So otherwise, as such, it can't give you any information. So maybe some of the properties we have already discussed by seeing these waveforms itself. Actually, what some of the properties are discussed. So maybe we'll see one by one, right? So certain unique properties that differentiate angle modulated wave from amplitude modulation waves. So those properties are, one is constancy of transmitted power. You can see in angle modulation, either whether it is phase modulation or FM, right? The transmitted powers envelope is constant. You can see envelope is a constant. Envelope is not changing, even in FM. But what is changing? You can see the frequency is changing, or else the place at which the wave is crossing zero. The zero crossing instances are actually what changing, right? Zero crossing instances are changing, right? Or else instantaneous phase is changing, right? Or instantaneous frequency is changing, right? So that is where information lies in, right? So now next one is non-linearity of the modulation process. So we have seen, we have solved some problems also. If we have a message signal m of t which is given by m1 of t plus m2 of t, which has two different frequencies or two different amplitudes or whatever, right? So if I modulate this carrier using m of t, right, that is equal to what? Modulating this carrier using m1 of t plus modulating this carrier using m2 of t. So there is a linearity. So what do you mean by linearity? Linearity, it actually what itself implies the whatever underlying thing, it should follow superposition and homogeneity, right? So we can see, maybe in next slide we'll see this FM modulation. It is a non-linear process. It itself actually what won't satisfy the condition of superposition, right? So we'll see that in next slide, right? So it's not, so if you do it for frequency modulation, so if the message signal has two different components, right? So if you individually frequency modulate M1 carrier with M1 of t and M2 of t, and then you add, it will not be same as actually what you are frequency modulating the resultant signal, the frequency with the resultant signal, right? We'll see that later. Then as you can see, right, so in AM, right, zero crossing, right, it is happening at the carrier frequency as such. Zero crossing is happening at the carrier frequency as such. So here, right. So zero crossing is happening at the carrier frequency as such. But if you see phase modulation and frequency modulation, you can see the zero crossing, it is irregular, right? It's changing, right? So I told that is where the information lies in, right? That is where the information lies in, irregularity of zero crossing. Then one more obvious thing is, as we have already discussed, visualization difficulty of message waveform. So we can't visualize the right message waveform. So if it is AM, we can just, it is easy for us to visualize, right? A carrier whose envelope is changing exactly accordance with the message signal. That is right. That is easy. But can you just imagine how this FM signal will be? You don't have to visualize. Can you just imagine of visualizing? That itself is difficult, right? So it doesn't make any sense to actually what our eyes, everything is actually what math, right? Only math can make sense here, right? Our eyes, it won't be able to make any sense as such, right? So these are the properties of angle modulated waves, right? And in the next session, I'll discuss this in detail. But before we move ahead and discuss that, right, I just want to see whether you have really taken part in this discussion. Right. For that, I'll just stop presenting it for the time being. Right. I'll, yeah. Uh, I have a very simple quiz for you. Right, I have a very simple quiz for you. I hope my screen is visible. Right, so whether my screen is visible, can anyone give me a, okay, Sherwin, yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Okay, fine. So now, right, so what you should do is, you should go to joinmyquiz.com and enter the code 074, or else I'll share the link, right? I'll share the link in chat window so that you can join using that. So please do join, enter your full name, right? Enter your USN followed by uh, full name, right? So at least initially it should be a USN, then remain after that your full name should be there, right? And please do participate. 1 second, I'll just I've just link I've just posted. Right, I'll just start the. Sorry, sorry. Right, maybe. Right, wait. Those of okay, those who might have joined already, they might have been like kicked out. So please join once again. Right. So please do join once again. Only 6 participants are there now. Right. And I'll consider this for today's attendance. Right. So and the new link to join. Right. New link to join. I'll put in Canvas actually. Yeah. So, no, put in window. This is the link to join new quiz. Right. By mistake, I started before people were joining. It doesn't matter. But even then, right. So we have 32 participants. I need others also to join. Right. So good. All have entered the USN and their names. Some of you have not entered, but fine. So those who have joined before even I give the instructions, right? So we have 42 participants. I need others also to join, right? Forty-seven are there. 59, yeah, people are joining in. Good. Fifty-two have joined. I need like yeah, maybe some more are there yet to join. So those who have not joined, please do join. Keep your audio on so that you can listen to my instructions. Right, and as soon as you finish this, please do come back to Google Meet. Right, so we do have 53 participants. Right, once again I repeat for today's attendance, I'll be considering this quiz, your participation, and right at times your performance. Yeah, 54 are there. Right, if anyone has any difficulty in joining, please do let me know. Right, I need everyone to join. So okay, I'll wait another 10 seconds and after that I'll start. Yes, I think I'll start with this quiz. Right. Right. So first question, please do read it. So select all options which are true about angle modulation. Right. You have to select all options which are true about angle modulation. So please do it fast. I have given only less time. Yeah, angle of the carrier wave is varied accordance with the baseband signal. Amplitude of the carrier wave is maintained constant. Better discrimination against noise and interference than AM. Requires less transmission bandwidth compared to AM, and system complexity is less. You have to select all the correct options, all which are true about angle modulation. That is the question. So we have 42 of you joining in, right? Others also please do, right? Join in fast. So in this case, as it is multiple uh, select type questions, checkbox type questions, once selecting, you may have to submit, right? Once selecting all the options, you may have to submit, right? Otherwise, if you simply select and wait, right, it won't be submitted. So I think that's why. Okay, fine, great. Now we have 51. Yeah. So maybe last 5 seconds I'll give. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yes. So I'll end this question and we'll see the result. Okay. All are done. So okay. Most of you have right, except right. Say 38 have given all correct answers. Right. So some of them have ticked something. Right. So maybe 12 have mentioned requires less transmission bandwidth compared to AM, and right, system complexity is less. So that is false actually. That I told, right. It requires more bandwidth, and if you are ready to spend more and more bandwidth, we can achieve more and more noise immunity, right? Or noise performance, better noise performance, right? So I've told that. Okay, fine. So maybe the question itself was confusing. I asked to select all options which are true. Some might have right misread it, whichever is not true, right? So fine, not a problem. Next question. So please be ready with for the next question. So noise performance of angle modulation increases with the bandwidth. True or false? It's a right. Please do turn in fast. Yes, I'll give another 5 seconds only. It's a very straightforward question with only two options. Right. Yes, I think I'll end this in another 1, 2, 3. Yes, fine. So I'll end this question and we'll see the result. Right. Even then, 12 have given wrong answers. Right. So fine. So 43 have given correct answer. Just now, just before the question, I told, right, noise performance of the angle modulation increases with the bandwidth. Maybe I think those 12 have muted themselves, and they have even switched off the speaker. That's why they are not able to actually answer this correctly. That's what I should suppose, right? Maybe their audio is off. Otherwise, there is no like what point, or there is no chance one can miss out this. Right. So okay, fine. So we'll start with we'll go to the next question. Right. So noise performance of angle modulation increases with the bandwidth. That is actually what one of the uh, advantages, right? If you are ready to compromise on bandwidth efficiency, you can have a system with better noise resistance, right? So that is one advantage. But of course, complexity is more, right? So we'll go to the next question. Okay, this is going to be, I'll give you some time for this. A signal has a time dependent instantaneous phase as follows. Theta I of t is equal to pi t square. The average frequency in hertz over the time interval 1 second to 2 seconds. Right, I asked this very same example which I have taken. But just be careful whether I change the time interval or anything. That you have to be careful. Right. So a signal has a time dependent instantaneous phase. Theta I of t is equal to pi t square. The average frequency in hertz over the time interval 1 second to 2 seconds. So it's 1.5 hertz, 1 hertz, 2 hertz, and 0 hertz. Yeah, I'll give another 5 seconds for this. Right after that, I'll end this question. So please do turn in fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fine. I'm just ending this. Let us see how many of you have got it right. Right. I'm just checking whether you have paid attention. Right. So I'm happy to see 48 of you have given correct answers. Right. But others, see, only 3. Right. Sorry, 4 have, 6 have given actually what wrong answer out of 54 who have. Good, right? So it's, we know theta I of t and how to find. So initial final theta minus initial theta divided by 2 pi times time interval. That is how we evaluated average frequency. Right. One example we have seen. I have asked here. Right. So, okay. Then next question. Be ready for the next question. Right. So a signal has a time dependent instantaneous phase as follows: theta, pi t square. The instantaneous frequency in hertz at time t equal to 2 seconds. What is the instantaneous frequency in hertz at time t equal to 2 seconds? Now this is just actually what remembering level 2 sort of question, right? Why? Because same example I have told, I just wanted to know whether all of you have been attentive, right? That's why I asked same question. If I had given some other actually what function of time, I would have given you more time, right? So then that would have been actually what I could have mapped it to L3, but now it's just, you have to just recall. I have discussed it. If you remember that, you will be able to answer. Otherwise also, you can solve and answer, right? But my aim is, yeah, so please do turn in fast. But I may give some more time, maybe at least some people will be solving, I know. That's why I'll give some more time. Okay, 1 more minute I can give. So okay, Ryan has typed he is having some network issue, is not able to join. Right. Fine, that would be fine. Right. So now already 47 have joined, so others also. Maybe I'll give another 5 more seconds. After that, I'll move on to the next question. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2. Right. So as it is first time, I'm trying to include a review sort of question here. Right. I'll give some. Right. I've included all straightforward. But from next time onwards, there can be some small twists and tweaks in questions. Right. So that even if someone is solving it and putting it in your class group and others copying it, right, I shouldn't give that much room. And maybe today it is possible. I'm not sure. I'm just actually what overthinking maybe, right? So next time, right, maybe I'll try to tweak in some more twists in questions. Okay, fine. So now I'll end question. Yeah, so again, yeah, we have majority giving correct answer, right? It's 2 seconds. So it is d by dt of 1 by 2 pi times d by dt of pi t square, right? D by dt of pi t square is 2 pi t, by 2 pi is nothing but what? T, right? So that is instantaneous frequency. If we substitute value of t equal to 2 in that, it will become 2. So that is equal to what? 2 seconds. That is how we'll find out instantaneous frequency, right? Okay, fine. So 37 I've given correct answer. Okay, now we'll move on to the next question. Right. Phase modulated signal. How to represent a phase modulated signal? Very straightforward answer. Which one has phase modulated signal in this? Either it is AC cos 2 pi fct plus k into m of t, or AC cos 2 pi times fc plus k into m of t times t. Which one is phase modulated signal? Yeah, please do turn in fast. Yeah, I'll give another 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, 0. Okay, fine. So again, okay, very good. 47 have given correct answer, and 5 have given wrong answer. Right. So okay. Anyhow, the statistics. I'll just analyze who all have given correct answer, who all have given wrong answer. Right. Then we see. Right. So if it may so have it right so happen that because of network issue, right, by the time when you're using quizzes by mistake, if you touch on your screen, answer may get submitted, right? If it is such cases, right, fine. Otherwise, right, these are very basic things which I have discussed today, right? And you, while attending class, right, if you are listening, you should be able to, right, answer this. Okay, fine. So that is, we'll move to the last question, right? So frequency modulated signal, how can we represent a frequency modulated signal? So these things are very basics, and if you have to take our discussion forward, you should be comfortable with these things, right? You should be comfortable with these things, right? If you don't know this, the next day when I'm discussing the remaining topics, it won't make any sense. You won't be able to appreciate it, right? So, right, if anyone has any issue with this, like, anyhow, already textbook is available, and you can just go through that, right? And, if you just read the textbook once, you'll be able to work. You'll be ready to work, attend tomorrow's class. Those who have confusion, all otherwise also I'll just make this recording available, right? So I'll just close this in another 2 seconds. Someone is unmuting and trying to. Yeah, Sridhara. Swaroop was telling I'm not able to connect to quizzes, right? Network problems. Okay, fine. So those things, right? Those are inevitable, happens. Right. So I'll just see. Right. Okay. Now I'll end this. I'll give 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Right. Again, 5 have given wrong answer, right, and 48 have given correct answer. It's by seeing the options itself, you can actually what make out. But maybe so happened that you are not able to see the options correctly, right? So maybe because of that, some have given wrong answer. But otherwise, right? Okay, fine. So that is the end, right? That is the end. Now maybe if you just say come back to Google Meet, you can see the winners. I'll just announce the winners there, right? So I'll just announce the winners, right? Maybe all of you can come back to Google Meet now, right? Please do come back to Google Meet. Right. All of you back to Google Meet. If you are here, please do type yes. I'll take another three minutes, and after that I leave. Right. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Maybe I'll just read it out. Right. So we have almost, yeah, many have given all correct answers. Like, right. Many have given all correct answers, and are right. Topper is winner is those who have the person who has answered all the questions accurately and very fast. It's Shifani. Then we have Pritesh just behind with 3,600, and Charanya. Right. So many have 3,600. Right. Excellent. Right. So Shifani, maybe because she answered one of the questions faster compared to others, she 3,900, and right, all others have actually what 3,600. Many have, right? So I'm not reading out all the names. Maybe I think you can see the names, right? So then some of them have, right, made one question, answered one question wrong, Some of them have made right 2 questions wrong. Some of them couldn't complete, right? So maybe those who have network issue, right? They had a problem, right? Okay, fine. So I'll just keep this, right? I can always, right, print the reports and I can keep it for my reference, right? Okay, I think, and I'll just stop sharing, right? So that's it for today's session, right? Even though we have taken just right 20 minutes we have taken for that quiz, right? But no problem. At least 5 minutes I'll spend on a quiz randomly from one topic. I'll put a question and I'll assess every day, right? So that I'll get to know whether the you're telling no doubt it is true or maybe you are keeping quiet. Right. Okay. So that's it. Maybe we'll end today. And tomorrow morning we have a session. So before that, I'll give you a reading exercise. Already your textbook is posted in Canvas. In that, you should just go to the angle modulation chapter and read the properties of angle modulation. The details is given there. Just read it. Casually go through that. Right. And there is also a problem on this zero crossing, right? Zero crossing of finding out zero crossing instances of PM and FM. That also you please read and come for tomorrow's class, right? So please do read that and come, right? So that's it. Maybe I think I'll wind up the session here, right? So before we wind up, we'll just see. We have learned about the basics of angle modulation. We have seen what is angle, what is frequency, average frequency, instantaneous frequency, AM, FM, PM, right? And then associated properties. That's what we have seen. So this is the very basic things. If you're comfortable with this, then you'll be able to appreciate the remaining topics. So please be attentive, right? You can expect quiz on all days from now on. So tomorrow also we'll have, right? So just remember about the reading exercise which I gave, the properties of angle modulation. That's it, right? So thank you so much for joining. So tomorrow morning we'll meet.